Alright, well, it's January 2018. I've got 12,791 miles on it at the moment. So we're due for a maintenance. I've got the synthetic oil in there now, but I'm going to go ahead and change it. It's a little bit soon to change it out, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I want to get another change out on that. So we'll change the oil and filter, and we'll do a general maintenance on it. I'm going to have to do the front tire. Still got a little bit of tread left on it, but not a lot. So I've got to definitely change that one out before we head into spring and start putting some miles on it. The back tire still has some tread on it, so I'll probably wait on that one. As the back tire is newer, and generally you get a little bit more life out of the back tire. So I'm not going to worry about it on the back tire just yet. We'll keep an eye on it. So I'm going to put new brake pads, tire on the front, change the oil, get it all cleaned up. But I've noticed last couple of days the brake pedal is getting a little stiff for some reason. It's getting hard to push down. So I need to investigate, find out why that's doing that. At first I thought it was because of the cold. Because when I first noticed it, it was like 30 degrees outside. So I thought maybe it was because of the cold, but now it's quite a bit warmer out today and it's still doing it. So need to find out what's going on with that. But otherwise it's been running okay. You know, I did let it set for when it was real cold and snowy. It set for probably, I don't know, maybe almost a month, 3 weeks or thereabouts without even starting it. And it was real cold when I went out there to start it, so it just barely started. Between the engine oil being cold and everything, it just barely started. Normally I don't worry about putting a battery tender on this because I'm normally riding it enough that it's not an issue. But if I get some winters where it's sitting for a while, I'm going to have to remember to put a battery tender on it. So the other bike, I've got the battery tender on the other bike because I don't drive it much, and so this spring I'm gonna put that one up for sale here pretty soon. See if I can get that one paid off and taken care of. So I was looking at tires, and to get the same ones I have on the other bike, it would raise this bike up almost 3/4 of an inch more than it is right now, which I don't really want to do. That's on the Kenda Cruise 673s is what I have on the 900, and I really like those tires. So I was going to put those on here, but they don't make a good size for this bike for the rear tire. So the rear tire that'll fit on here is a little bit taller than the stock tire, and the tire I have on here now is actually a little bit shorter than the stock. So by the time the two, you're raising it almost 3/4 of an inch above where it is right now. And I did find the lowering links that you can get to lower the rear shock down and gain about 3/4 of an inch seat height. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do there. What I would like to do, what I may end up doing is keeping the Metzlers on here and get a Metzler for the front to match the back. That back rear Metzler tire has actually been a good tire. So I may go ahead and put a Metzler on the front. That's the 888, and to match the back. and then go ahead and put the lowering links in. Then that'll drop me down, and the height then would be pretty good on this with those lowering links. Now it looked like the big drawback, or not drawback, but you know, the lowering links just bolt right in there, but you do have to modify the saddlebag supports there just a little bit to make sure they clear the shock absorbers when the new position, so that when the bike, you know, if the bike bottoms out, you got to make sure that shock absorber clears the saddlebag supports. But those are only like 150 bucks, so I may go ahead and do that. I may put that lowering link in there regardless of what I do for tires. I kind of like to keep the same size tire that I've got on it now. It's working out really well. Wider and a little bit shorter. And it feels real good. So I may go ahead and keep that tire. It's got quite a bit of tread left on it. So I may just get the Metzler for the front to match it. And when I do, you know, the front tire, I'm going to pull the front forks apart and re-lube the bearings, make sure that's all torqued down properly. I'm kind of hoping I can get in there and do that without taking the fairing off, but I don't know. Might be able to. I can take the fairing off, but it's a real pain to take off. Still deciding whether or not I want to do the Ivan's ECU flash. You know, everybody says, you know, you got to do it, you got to do it. I really wish I could ride a bike that's had the flash done just to see the difference. Because the bike's been running real well, no problems. Like I said, with the synthetic oil, it's been running just a little bit cooler. But really, temperature is not a big problem anyway. Even last summer when it was hot, you know, the engine temperature was not really an issue. Even stop and go traffic around here sometimes, I got stuck in traffic for a long period of time, and it still, you know, it got hot, but it wasn't really a problem. The cooling fans, the radiator and cooling fans kept up, and it, you know, it didn't overheat. They got up to about, let's see, what is that, 3, 4, about 5, 6, I guess is that one, that last mark. It got up there. It got up to that last mark before you get up to the overheating part, which is not, you know, unusual for this bike. That extra cooling fan they got in the back there to try and pull the hot air away from the rider helps quite a bit. So I'll have to take a look at that rear brake pedal and see what might be going on with it. See if it's something that I need to take care of, or if I need to just take it in and have some warranty work done on it. If it's just brake pads getting worn out or something, then I'll just have to take care of it. But if it's something else, then I'll let the warranty take care of it. Supposed to be raining tomorrow. Oh, police are out running around. I better cool it. I was gonna pass people and whatnot, but I better just take it easy. I've seen quite a few police out running around today. So I've been thinking about getting a trailer for this, because when we go on a longer trip, it's been real tough trying to get everything packed onto the bike. So thinking about getting a small trailer. I've seen a few used ones around, but I'm trying to decide if I want to get the pop-up camper, that folds out, or well, they got a pop-up camper that kind of pops up, or they got the fold-out style, which actually has more room in it and looks like it's probably more usable, or just get a cargo trailer and throw a tent in there. The camper, of course, would be a lot more useful if we're going camping and stuff, and you can still get quite a bit of storage in there, even with the camper, even with the camping stuff that folds out. I think you still have like 15 cubic feet of storage. Plus, you got the luggage rack on top, so you've actually got quite a bit of room in there. So I might try and see if I can't find a used camper. So looks like the trailer hitch to fit this is about $350. I'd probably get a used camper for maybe a couple thousand, $1,500 to $2,000 probably on a camper. You can get a used cargo trailer for closer to $1,000, $1,200. I'm just trying to decide which one would be more, the pop-up or the fold-out one has more room, so I think I would go that route rather than the pop-up style. The pop-up style, basically you got your mattress there, and there's not really any, you can't stand up in it. It's basically just a bed. Which if I was by myself, I might do. But realistically, I think I'm going to have to get the fold-out style, so you got, you got some living space plus a bed. That works out pretty well. But from what I've seen, pulling the trailer is not really a problem. Yeah, the pop-up, or not pop-up, but the fold-out style camper, I think, would probably be the most useful. You can set it up pretty easy, set it up and take it down pretty easy. Trying to deal with a tent and get it folded up and put away can be a little difficult. And the camper, one person can set it up and take it down. The tent, if I was going to do a tent on that way, then I'd want to get a decent sized tent. So I want some space. So this year I'm not going to be able to take, probably still not going to be able to take off on a really long trip this year. Probably going to have to wait till next year to do that. So we'll probably take a series of 2, 3, 4 day trips. You know, the next year we'll plan on a longer trip, maybe like a 2-week. Try to plan ahead and plan on like a 2-week trip somewhere. So this year we'll probably just stay in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, maybe down into Northern California. You know, some of these areas, I mean, we could go further, but I don't want to just, you know, ride just to get someplace. I mean, we could put, realistically, we could probably put 600 miles in one day without too much trouble. But if you want to stop and smell the roses along the way, yeah, then usually you're around maybe 300, 350 miles in a day. Depending on what you're doing, you could get, you know, 400, 500, but if you want to be able to stop and see things and whatnot, then you're looking at probably 300 to 350 a day. Sometimes less than that, depending on what kind of stops you're making. But realistically, you know, if you really want to, you know, stop and spend some time on things, probably 250 to 300 miles in one day is not bad.